Sivaya Nama Tiruchitrambalam. Welcome back to our discussion on 9th Tirumurai, and we have completed the first 7 Tirupadigams and we are moving on to the 8th Tirupadigam. In this we are going to start with the very first verse. This particular Padigam is written by a saint called as Karuvoor Thevar. We will be talking about Karuvoor Thevar, as in Tamil versions are still going on. We will be consolidating all those and we will shortly have an English version of those as well to introduce us to the different saints who have written this particular Padigams, and also we will talk about the 14 places for which these Padigams were written. Let's directly move on to the Padigam, which is the first verse right now. This is written in a raga called as, the ragam for this is Bhupalam, which is ideal to be sung early in the morning because it gives us a lot of energy, the energy that is needed to run the entire day. Let's look at the first verse now. Tiruchitrambalam. Kanam, viri, kudumi, semmani, kavainaku, karayanal katsavi, paguvai, panam, viri, tutti, porigol vollayetru, pambani, paramartham, Koyil, manam, viri, tarude, மாம்பொழில் மொழுப்பின் மழைதவழ் வளரிளம் காமுகம் திணர் நிறை அரும்பும் பெரும் பற்ற போலியோர் திருவள்ளர் திருச்சிற்றம்பலமே. திருச்சிற்றம்பலம். Honestly, this is a lovely verse because if you look at it, of course it's sung for the temple called as Chidambaram, but if you look at it, the first 2 lines of this verse is talking only about the beauty of the snake which Lord Shiva is wearing as his ornament. So the beauty of the snake is elaborated here. It seems the snake has a bunch of heads. If you can imagine it, it's really honestly scary, I would say. Yeah, the snake has a bunch of heads. Not only that, it has the beautiful stone, we call it as an semmani, which is considered to be very, very expensive and a very precious gem. The reason is because the gem is formed due to the poison. The poison was not excreted for a very long time, and it solidifies and it becomes a crystal, and that becomes very, very expensive and precious crystal. So here this particular snake has got the crystal, so it gives a very dashing red look. Not only that, its mouth is filled with poison, and it has ears and eyes as the same organ, because we all know snakes can't hear, right? So if you look at it, the eyes behaves as the same as the ears as well, and its mouth is widely opened, and the skin of the snake has got a lot of designs in it, most probably designer snake. Yeah, so it has a lot of designs on the snake, and it has got white teeth, and though that kind of beautiful snake is what Lord Shiva, who is residing in Tiruchitrambalam, is wearing as his ornament. So this particular verse comes in as Lord Shiva is residing in a place called as Tiruchitrambalam. Tiruchitrambalam has a lot of greeneries, as in it has a lot of trees, which is the pupil tree. It also has a lot of mango trees, and because of this trees over there, it's so dense, and because of that it looks so dark, and yet Lord Shiva is the brightest of the brightest of the brightest. So he is dancing in this place called as Tiruchitrambalam. That is what verse number 1 talks about. And if you look at it in a detailed manner, today we are talking about sustainability or biodiversity and all these, but in fact without nature nothing can survive. Even human beings can never survive even for a minute without nature. and that reality is portrayed in almost all our Tirumurai. You can't see a single verse without the explanation of the nature, which means the saints who saw Lord Shiva equally saw nature, and they saw Shiva as part of the nature itself. So what we have to do is start seeing nature, and we have to start protecting the nature as well. That is what verse number 1 gives us as a lesson. I'll come back again with the next verse very soon. Until then, Sivaya Nama, Tiruchitrambalam.